Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another SLG Meetup, where we meet with some of the most interesting people in the luxury space. And today we're going to be actually bringing someone quite different from the guests that we usually bring in. And for that, we're going to have Marco Castelli. He's actually a model and fashion designer from Italy. Very well known. He's been working on some incredible projects and in his own collection.
Hey!
Marco, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm doing very good. Are you?
Very amazing. Where in Italy are you?
Right now I'm in Four Seasons Hotel in Milan. My favorite spot. I just arrived from my travels. So I'm very happy and excited to see you. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you so much. And look, you're always somewhere. I thought I traveled a lot, but you're always somewhere else, huh?
We are in the same vibe. We are in the same vibe.
Well,
Yes.
when are you coming to Miami?
I really hope soon, maybe for Art Basel in December. So we're going to meet up for sure.
Yes, it's the best time to come to Miami for sure.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, Marco. I mean, you are model, fashion designer. You came with your own line. So this is a whole luxurious lifestyle that you're living, and the industry itself of fashion is so fascinating. So tell us a little bit about what is it that you're currently working on so passionate.
Okay, so let me begin from my beginning, okay? So I started in modeling 14 years ago by a chance because a guy was stopping me on my work. I was a bay watcher, so I was a lifeguard at that moment. And that guy came up to me and say, hey, how are you? What's your name? I say, Marco. So you know what? I'm working for this brand. I would like to have you on the show. In the beginning, I was thinking it's a joke, you know? But then he said, oh, look, it's something serious. It's a big show. Come over. So I visit the place. I met them and I did a fitting for the first time and I ran on the show. And by after, actually, the agencies in Milan was calling me and say, hi, we are working in Milan. You know, we would like to have you in our agency. So I started from there. And yeah, I became modeling. Right after like 6-7 months, I started to do big campaigns with Gianfranco Ferré. I don't know if you know this brand, but it was very huge in Milan. And by after, actually, my first trip was in New York, where it was my second city. And I was start to work there for Fashion Week, and I was do a lot of fashion show around, working with many brands like Penny Ellis, Lacoste, and blah 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 blah. Then I was back to Milano where I was shot for L'Uomo Vogue, and after Vogue I did Cosmopolitan, different campaigns with Shippy Company, Corneliani, Chanel in Paris. So I started to work with many big brands. By after, when I was in New York, I was started to be an ambassador for the first time. So because it was the era of, social media, because I was in LA, I was working with an agency that's called Two Management. And I was able the fortune to work with John Barbatos and Flaunt in Miami, actually, because I was also in Miami. I was shooting there with Flaunt and Cosmopolitan. And this brand from sunglasses was approached me, and I was bringing them from New York to Milan, where I was opening them a different business. And by that, I was started thinking, okay, maybe I want to do something by myself. And I was started to wear myself bespoke, okay? So I was always going to the tailor in Italy, in a very small shop, very nice in Italy. And I was start to create my own clothing and was traveling with this, new clothing. And actually, with my travels, I was meet many people asking me, oh, wow, you know what? I like your jacket. I like your, your coat. And actually, sadly, during a shooting in Milan, he's approached me, a person, and tell me, oh, wow, we like your coat. Where we can buy it? And I say, look, this is my creation, it's my first piece. And he came up to this little shop and he bought like 5 coats. And from there, I started the business. And with these clients, we was working for 3 years. And then actually they invited me to go to Doha, where I did a special meeting with them. And then by then I was meeting different people. They say, why don't come here? We can do a special project together. We can do something. And I was start to do lecture with Virginia Commonwealth University in Qatar, where with a friend of mine was introduced me the teacher there, and I was talking with all of this beautiful soul of people where I was telling them about my story, about my experience in fashion with the brands, and then they said, look, we would like to do for you a pop-up for 7 days plus 1 month in Fire Station. Fire Station, I don't know if you know, but it's a very good concept where all designers like Balmain and many brands do events there. And when I opened this beautiful pop-up, in only 7 days, I did the sold out of our collection. Yeah, it was amazing. So 7 days, all gone. So people was really excited. And plus we did some bespoke collection there. So by after, I was come back to Milan and actually it was COVID. So we're talking about 2019, okay? And during COVID, I said, oh my God, you know, everything is stopped now. What I do? So done. Oh my God, the business went like, wow, you know, like the escalation of my career as modeling, because, you know, working with Chanel, with Bentley, with many brands, you know, watch brands, like I did very much. And the brands also, I will see that they start to get a brand identity. So it went very well. Right. So by then I was closing the home. I said, okay, what do we do? Everyone was start to wear this mask. And actually I stayed home and I was thinking to create a paint. I did a paint, and this paint I was called Rebirth, because I was do a mask with acacia. I don't know if you know the acacia. Acacia have a symbol that you can bend, but you can't break. Okay, so it's a symbology meaning. And then from this paint, a friend of mine said, from Middle East, his name is Bashar. He said, Marco, why you don't do for me the mask and send me to Kuwait? I said,
look at that.
I said, okay. So I did the sample with Alina, that she's my girlfriend, and I said, because actually she don't was my girlfriend, because we was meet, because she's the designer, but we will start to date during COVID. And she said, okay, you know what, Marco, I can sew for you and you really like. So we started. Then I was go from my little home to her home, and we start to produce the mask for Kuwaiti. And we start to produce, and then I was start to do some pictures, you know, home with my ring light, you know, and people suddenly was fall in love. Also, also because before I start to sell them, I was create a partnership with Amici Centrafrica, because I don't know if you know, but I do also charity project, because I really love charity. And this charity in Africa that we have a foundation.
I saw you're very involved there, yes.
Yes, and this foundation actually existing since 21 years. And I said, you know what, because Pierre from Chanel was telling me, look, Marco, we have this special project and we would like you to have part of it. I said, okay, you know what, I do this mask, and for each mask I sold, I give you something. So we was dealing, and then I started the communication on Instagram, and you know what, like in the end we sold more than 3,000 masks in maybe in only 2 months. And then I was running like to ship this mask all over the world. You know, it went in Qatar, in Kuwait, Dubai, Singapore, Japan, Nashville, Paris, everywhere. Like it was crazy. Like all people was calling me about this mask, and it was amazing. And also the meaning, the fact that we could help also a little bit, you know, these kids in Africa was amazing. And you know, and then from Rinascita, so from the culture bird, then, you know, I was start to project also some t-shirts, and then now after COVID, you know, many projects coming. And actually back to the charity project on 19, we do a very beautiful gala dinner in Villa d'Este in Lake of Como. And actually, I'm telling you officially, you are super invited. I wanted to tell you before, but I said, okay, during the interview, you can be really our guest. It's very nice. There is coming a lot of, not only celebrity, but also people that are really involved on charity projects.
Can somebody, if you have to recommend how you started to build your personal brand, what would be the first step?
Okay, the first thing, it's always to go with your own personality, with your own taste. It's not simple to create a personal brand, because it's a work, it's a daily work, and it's also passion. Because my luck is that I'm very passionate in what I do. I love my work.
Do you use social media a lot to reach out to people, or is it by attending events? What would be the best way to build this powerhouse?
Okay, it's a very great question because Instagram social is one thing, right? So because there is people writing you that they want to meet you and blah blah. But I think it's very important when you meet people near, you can feel the energy, right? Because when you know how to mix them, they mix the perfect mix, the perfect match.
What's been the hardest thing that you've had to face, and what did you learn from it?
The first thing is that I was need to choose, right, to go away from my family because I'm from Sicily, so I have a big family. I have two brothers and sisters, and since 14 years I do this. I understood that after 14 years, I see my grandmother older, my grandfather older, my mom, my dad. I can see that I don't see them very often. The reality is that I miss them, in the daily life. And then when you look back, you say, wow, now I'm here, I bought the house of my dream. I make this money. I made this, I have a good standard of life. But then I always think, but, I miss some part of my life back there. So what I'm learning now is very important to balance and to focus not only to what you love in general, like work, money, no, okay? Because it's not about money also. It's never about money. But to focus on people, to help people.
How do you sell yourself?
The way to sell is not, when we talk about luxury, like people say, oh, you work in luxury, you wear this watch, you drive this car, you have this house. People thinking everything is about money, but no. I think the real luxury, the real sell, you make when your vibration, where your energy is connect with the universe. Because then it's like, I like to say not to sell, but to attract abundance. That is different.
I like that.
Because the abundance in our life is all. Health, money, love, many things, and I call it abundance. That's why I'm very happy in what I do, because what I try to attract every day, I'm not perfect man because I do my mistakes. I want to attract the abundance, and for me the abundance are people surround me, of course family number one, money because we need money, but especially the circle of my life, because in then when you have the right circle, the right people, you don't need money. You know what I mean? It's funny, but it's really like that. In the end, it's like this. That's why I love to give. That's why I like to go to Africa, to go to these kids, stay with them, take a photo with them. Also because remember, in Africa we build a school, 0 from 18 years old, and we have 3,000 kids, man, 3,000 kids, okay, almost. Wow. And we build. Sorry, you see me? Okay. We build 2 schools, and we teach them medical, and we teach them how to sew like jackets, so sartoria. Oh wow. Okay. And also, and we send teachers from here to there to teach them. Of course, then in 3,000 kids, of course, there is someone that you see that have big potential. And when we find a potential guy or girl, we send to Milan to do a university here. So we give them an opportunity, because education is the reality of the foundation. Education and progress. That's what they need. They don't need money. Because all the money we collect is to help. They're not only for the food, for drinking, no, and not to give them money, but we need to pay teachers, school, to build.
What is actually luxury to you?
It's a very okay, for me, luxury is freedom. Freedom is my luxury because, today I was work all day. But I feel like I'm not working, it's funny to say, but this is a luxury.
Thank you also for the invitation. And I cannot wait to see you, whether it's in Europe, if you come to Miami for our Basel. Yeah. I'm sure we'll connect soon and work on some cool stuff together.
Yeah, of course. Now we'll send you the invitation. Okay, so you are totally free to come. And number one, really, if it's possible, I would like to introduce you good people in the whole way, because I think it's very important to connect, and I feel also the same energy with you. That's why I wanted to do the interview with you, because you are doing very great things, and I'm very happy.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, Marco. Thank you for your time. good luck with everything, and vice versa. You know, if there is anything we can do to help or support you, you can always do like a trunk show in one of our houses here, or anything that we can do to support and do. We're here for that. Okay.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, Marco. Take
Peace.
care.
Bye to everyone.